Welcome to today's video. In today's video, I pulled out 3 cards this morning, and it's the 6 of Wands that's upside down, and then the 4 of Pentacles upside down, and then the 8 of Swords that is upright. So the 6 of Wands is about failure. I'm sure most of us have failed at things from time to time, from riding your bike to passing a test to maybe not getting the job you wanted, or leaving the job that was just full of people that were haters. You know, people that you didn't mix well with because those people were thieves, not honest people, or drug addicts or alcoholics. Things like that. Lack of recognition, perhaps. You know, maybe you had to change jobs, or, you know, maybe you were the middle child, and so on and so forth. Maybe lack of achievements. And then this card here is the 4 of Pentacles. It's upside down, and it's giving up control. Maybe you're at a point in your life where you want to change your life. You know, maybe you came from a troubled past, or maybe you saw abuse or neglect or things like that at home, or your family members or your cousins went through it, things like that. Bankruptcy, for sure. I went through one of those. I was over 20 years ago. Maybe you're into reckless spending, not saving your money, and you know, wonder why you do the things you do. And if you do that, you came to the right video. Okay, so now this card here is the 8 of Swords. It's upright. It's about limiting beliefs, feeling powerless, unproductive. Do you feel like this in your daily life? You know, do you go into the world and put on a mask to fit in with people because the real you people may not like, or you think the real you people wouldn't like? Maybe you have a victim mentality. Maybe you feel trapped in your life. And that was kind of setting the things up for this video. And this video will help you set yourself free. And what I suggest you do is start journaling. I just journaled right before this video, so you know, it's good to put things down, take them out of your mind and put them down on paper. And basically you gave those thoughts up, right? Because we have many intrusive thoughts, and maybe you have, you know, a whole bunch of thoughts and memories you don't want to think of. Maybe you're drinking alcohol to forget, or maybe you're smoking weed to not even deal with your troubled past. And this is the video for you. Okay, so our beliefs are assumed truths. They are our inner statements about ourselves in which we are emotionally invested. They have shaped us, and probably unbeknown to many of us, they have been with us since childhood. See what I'm saying? Our beliefs may not exist in our own minds as explicit propositions. They may be so implicit in our thinking that we are hardly aware of them at all. Yet they clearly lie behind our actions. Do you feel yourself? Do you see yourself in this little phrase here? Do you see yourself in the cards? This is the video for you. Self-limiting beliefs are those which have the greatest potential for impacting negatively upon you achieving your full potential. We develop limiting beliefs to protect us from future pain. Usually they develop in our formative years, in your childhood years, when you go to school, when you're 4, when you're 5, when you're 6, and so on. In response to painful experiences, from these experiences we create our own, often skewed, generalizing about life. And I had a whole bunch of those, when I was a kid growing up, because there was abuse and neglect in the home. I saw it and experienced it, and I see myself in this article. And that's why I started this channel, because I want to help people think differently about themselves. You are the most important thing in your life. Okay, you are amazing. You know, everything about you is amazing. You know, one of how many millions of sperms created you, so you're a special snowflake. I'm just kidding with that last part with the snowflake thing, but you know, you are important. And you need to see yourself as an important person. Even though other people may not think so, you need to start going down this road of self-love, self-improvement, journaling, you know, meditating and things like that. These generalizations become deeply embedded in our subconscious as they manifest as limiting beliefs that influence much of what we think, say, or do. Here are some examples, and maybe this will give you an idea of what I'm talking about, and maybe you can relate. I am powerless. What happens when you think like this? Not standing up for yourself. You let people walk all over you. You let people say stupid shit about you. You let narcissistic idiots come around you. Here's another example. Nothing I say is worth being listened to. Guess what happens? You're not speaking up for yourself. Everything I do has to be perfect. That's not so true. Becoming risk averse, so you don't take risks. I am worthless. Act defensively. I can't handle conflict. Giving into others. People pleasing. When we allow our lives to be shaped by these limiting beliefs, the behaviors that we adapt reinforce our own beliefs, and we become experts in creating our own self-fulfilling prophecies, self-limiting beliefs in action. Observe any challenging child in your school, and you will see exactly how a self-limiting belief can become a self-fulfilling prophecy. If that child has an underlying limiting belief that he is worthless, he will adopt negative behaviors that cause him to be chastised by others. The response that he receives from others serves only to fuel his belief that he is worthless, and so in his mind, the belief is proven right, and he continues perpetuating the vicious cycle of negative thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors. If left unchallenged, this is why you should get into journaling. If left unchallenged, these beliefs can then continue to influence the child consciously or unconsciously for the rest of their lives. Whilst many of our beliefs about ourselves are formed as we grow up, we can reinforce these old self-limiting beliefs or develop new ones throughout our lives that hold us back in our lives and in our roles. Maybe you've thought, I could never put myself on camera. That is a self-limiting belief. Oh, I can never speak publicly about what happened to me. That is another self-limiting belief. However, the good news is that conversely, it is also possible to let go of these old beliefs and develop new, more supportive ways to think and behave that can, in turn, help to create a more positive narrative for ourselves. So this is the first thing you should do to start going down a different path than what you're doing or going down today. Identify any self-limiting belief, write it down, journal it, and see where your mind goes, and just let it flow. You might cry, and that's okay. Let it out, because that pain needs to be released. Identify any self-limiting belief and what behaviors they have resulted in. Consider the table above. Are there any beliefs like this that you know of that might be holding you back? Choose one or two beliefs to focus on and try to reflect on the detrimental impact that these beliefs may have on your behavior. The way you lead your school and interact with others. Do they make you avoid doing certain things? Do they make you feel or act defensively? These are good questions for you to journal. Okay? By recognizing how these beliefs manifest themselves in us, we build up a self-awareness that allows us more easily spot behaviors when they are reinforced in our daily life. When we can spot name these behaviors and beliefs, we have taken the first step to creating a new narrative with new behaviors for ourselves. You gain control of your life. Okay? Another thing you should do is consider where these beliefs might have come from. Was your dad abusive? Was your mom telling you you're going to be just like your dad, worthless, this and that? You know, did your mom teach you to be a man-hater just like she did? Probably. You see, I'm not saying that your parents are bad parents. I'm just saying that we all learned wrong. And that we all need to start looking at what went in our brain pan and who put it there, right? Right? You're unique. You're worth of love. You're worth of happiness. You're worth of someone loving you and you loving someone too. Reflect on what the source of these beliefs could be. In some cases, it can even be as simple as interactions you have had with another individual or an event in the past that have helped to forge these beliefs. Nevertheless, by looking into the root cause of our beliefs and questioning them, that's what you should be doing, we can realize that the evidence we have previously used to justify these beliefs is flawed, limited or circumstantial, and in turn, we can begin to crack the foundation of these beliefs. Another thing you should do is reflect on instances where these beliefs have shown to be incorrect. If our self-limiting beliefs are deeply entrenched into how we perceive ourselves, we can find that we begin to interpret current or other past events as further proof that we are in some way deficient. For example, if you have self-limiting beliefs that you cannot effectively handle team conflicts, you may fixate on any instances where you attempt to resolve the conflict has gone wrong, and by doing so, allow these beliefs to become more deeply rooted. In the process, we can ignore examples that would actually act as evidence against our self-limiting beliefs. E.g., all these times when we have managed conflicts well. So, an important next step when tackling self-limiting beliefs is to consider all the times that these beliefs have been proven to be incorrect. By reevaluating the evidence, we can begin to readdress this balance and perhaps release or realize that we haven't actually been fair to ourselves. Another thing you should do is explore what beliefs could better support you as a leader and as a person. Once we have cracked the foundations of these self-limiting beliefs, to properly undo them and to make real meaningful changes, we must then lay the foundation for new affirming beliefs about ourselves, which can be reinforced with new experiences. To do this, it's best to ask yourself what sort of behavior you want to experience as a leader and as a person, and then work backwards to what beliefs could best serve you in doing this. This direction will be vital in keeping you focused as you try to create a new beliefs and behaviors. Okay? Another thing you should do is challenge your thoughts. Whenever you get a bad thought of something or something like that, try to wrangle it in and, try to deal with it, journal about it, let it go. And then if you have another thought like it again, try to kick it out of your head. You're going to have to process these thoughts. It might hurt you. It might take you back to a bad spot, but you're going to have to live this pain out, write it down, and then it's out of you. And then when it comes back, you tell it, you have no power over me. Challenge your thoughts. As you seek to develop new behaviors, it's important that you work hard to respond to the old behaviors and thoughts when they reappear, which they will. This means watching both your behavior and your thought process closely and consciously trying to respond to and modify them. What was I just saying? In order for you to do this, you might want to stop drinking. In order for you to do this, you might have to stop doing drugs. If you want to get a new you, you have to take out the old you. And you start by finding God. I tried not drinking for many years, so I'm only going to drink this much, or I'm going to not drink this weekend because next weekend, and so on, and excuses. And maybe you're there. You have to look for God, all right? He's the one who gave me the chance and the power to get away from all that crappy life. This can be the hardest bit, as it's likely that these behaviors will be fairly entrenched and so are bound to show up whether you want them or not. The easiest thing to do early on is to simply say, stop. When you feel these self-limiting voices in your head or find yourself exemplifying old behaviors like drinking and smoking, and refuse to let these take hold. The next step is to begin to make small, gradual changes, because that's what this is about. Small goals. Okay, start realistically. Instead of 15 beers, you do 12 beers. Instead of 12 beers, you do 10 beers, and so on and so forth. Okay, baby steps. Modification, gradual changes, modifications to these behaviors or thoughts. For example, if you find yourself thinking, I am so disorganized, remind yourself that this is a manifestation of these self-limiting beliefs that are not necessarily based in any truth. Then, where possible, consciously look to modify or challenge this with a more affirming statement such as, I can be organized. Ultimately, if this feels a bit too much, if it feels a little bit too much, at least modify this statement to one that recognizes that you are in a process of growth and development. Such as, in past, I have been so disorganized, but I am going to improve. Another thing you should do is develop new behavior practices and reinforcements. See, getting rid of P-Hub and getting rid of the lust for women is another thing you should work on. All right. And if you're a guy listening to this, try retaining your essence, and you know what I'm talking about. Keep it in your body, all right? It changes your life if you keep it in your body, all right? All your vitamins and minerals is within your semen, all right? Try that first and see how it changes your life. The final step is to undertake actions that are aligned to the new behavior you wish to develop. If you wish to develop ways to being more organized, seek out techniques and tools that can help you do so. You can use YouTube for good and you can use YouTube for bad. Same thing with TikTok. If you find yourself worrying that everything you do must be perfect, try doing a few tasks to a level that is good enough. Even if you feel it's not perfect, and consciously encourage yourself to move on. By practicing these behaviors and making small changes, over time, this can lead rather to big changes to your thought process, your narrative, and in turn, your behavior and leadership. It is important that we do this, that we recognize that, like our pupils, we too need patience and understanding as we are undertaking this learning and development. Finally, to complete this learning process, constant practice and reinforcement is necessary to properly embrace these behaviors and ways of thinking in our lives and work. Surround yourself with people who are your friends, like real friends, like the friends that encourage you to do what you want, all right? Not the people who limit you, all right? True friends, regardless of how crazy the idea, will support you. Trust me, those are real friends. To reinforce these new, more affirming beliefs, ensure that you focus on your new actions and the positive outcomes which come from them, and use both of these as evidence that your old beliefs were either incorrect or have now become outdated. Okay? So that is the end of the video, and I highly encourage you to start loving yourself. Start taking yourself serious, because you are a special human being and you need to start acting like it and treat your body like the temple it is. If you take care of your body, it will take care of you. This is Mario, and I will see you in a later video.